What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto is trained by Kami when he is a kid? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. Michael Allen was looking at his phone. It was Sunday, July 3, 2022. A new episode of Boruto came out. He didn't think it was good or bad. He sighed and took off his earbuds. Since COVID-19, life sucked, but at least his mom was there when he had to go remote. Mike Pav. I turned off my phone and grabbed the keys to my house. I pulled them out of my shorts and went inside. When I went into the kitchen, I found a note on the counter. I raised an eyebrow. Could have texted. I picked up the note and it said, "Went to see your father." I frowned. No good came from my old man. He was a narcissistic bastard who manipulated my mom. As you can tell, I love him. I throw the note in the trash and go to my room. It was a small room with a bed, desk for my gaming setup, and a closet. I plop myself on the bed and search up my. That's a site where dreams can go into literature. I love the crossover fanfictions. Slam. My front door was heard, along with fast steps to my room. Mike. My mom barged in. I jump from my bed. What? I ask. Pack some clothes, we're leaving. She turns to leave. Leaving? What do you mean leaving? I follow her. Your father just threatened to kill you. I stop and stare. What? I ask in horror. I'm sorry baby, but he was serious. He's coming here too. My mom was interrupted by the glass to the front door breaking, and the front door being thrown open. Where the fuck are you? My dad yelled. I instantly take my mom into her room and hide her. My mom made me take taekwondo, I can handle him. I grabbed my sword which my friend's dad made for me for cosplay. Yeah, it was a real sword. I heard my door to my room open and everything got destroyed. I flinched. Where are you, fucker? My mom's door was kicked open. There he stood, 6'0", bald, not that muscular. Holding a pistol. Ah, he growled. There you are. He raised his pistol at me. I knew you'd come and finish me. I smirked, walking closer. My dad may have been holding the gun, but his aim was worse than a stormtrooper. It's because of you, Becky left me. He pushed the piece of metal to my chest. My mom whimpered and got out of her hiding spot. Mark, stop, she yelled. Sweetheart, I told you, if you left me, there would be consequences. He glared back at me. I glared right back. The hell you're looking at like that? Boy, he grounded out. A moment later I woke up disoriented. I soon got my bearings. I look around to see my mom, lying on the ground, sobbing. Mom? I groaned. Mikey. She sobbed. Thank God. She said. I turned her around, to see a bullet to the chest. Mom. I scream. Oh my God, oh my God. I pull out my phone and call the police. I need help. My mom's been shot in the chest. Address is 1772 West Fuller Drive. I hung up and put pressure on her wound. Mom, hold on, help is on the way. Stay with me, I beg. I love you, my beautiful boy. Never forget that. She put her bloody hand to my wet cheek. Don't talk like that, I assure her. We both know, I won't make it. She cried. I shook my head, not wanting to accept the situation. All of a sudden, my dad barged in again, probably back from realizing what he's done. I'm gonna kill you, I seethed, rising and grabbing my sword. I ran over to him, as he shot at me. Raw, I roar, stabbing him in the stomach. I rip my blade out as he falls to the floor. He grunts in pain. I straddle his waist and punch him in the face, not stopping. I didn't stop till the police came and pulled me away, finding him dead. My knuckles were bleeding. I turned to see my mom, dead. I fell to my knees and screamed. Flashback end. I wasn't charged with murder, seeing I was defending myself. I haven't spoken to anyone, leaving myself to write down everything. I stayed with my mom's friend, Tiffany. She was nice. I stayed in my room, reading Naruto fanfictions to keep myself from focusing on my mom's death. 2 weeks later, I returned to school. I lost all my friends, everyone glared at me. My school believed I murdered my parents and got away with it. I put my headphones in and listened to Halsey. When I got to class, one went to my seat and never paid any attention. 1 month later, I went to my house, the one I lived in with my mom. I walked in and went to her room, where the deed had been done. Walking to the now clean carpet, I got on my knees and pulled out a knife. Mom, I'm sorry. I can't do this without you. Please forgive me. I point the knife to my neck. I take a shallow breath. I sliced my neck. I saw red, then it went black. Black, black, stars started to shine. Hello Michael. A soft, caring voice spoke up. I opened my eyes to see a woman in a kimono. Kami? I asked. Wow, got it in one. The god smiled warmly, as if we had a connection. This is the afterlife, huh? She nodded. Kinda boring, you know. She giggled. Yeah, I know. She waved her hand, and everything turned into a comfy loft. Better? She asked. I nodded. Why am I here? I asked. I am sorry for your loss. I understand why it hurt you and caused you to go suicidal. Which is why I want to reward you. Michael-kun. She said. How so? You're gonna reincarnate me? I asked sarcastically. She nodded. Holy crap, I was being sarcastic. Are you really? I yelled. She nodded. And you can choose what universe, Naruto. Instantly, Kami got a tick mark. That was fast. She said. So will I be my own person? Or be someone else? I asked eagerly. You may do whatever you'd like. She smiled. All of a sudden, I found myself on a character creator page. I feel like this is copied from a fanfiction. I deadpanned. Kami only chuckled. Alright, I rubbed my hands together, mood brightening up. Choose family. Hyuga family. Uchiha family. Uzumaki family. Senju family. Sarutobi family. Namikaze family. My eyes are going wide. Wow, is there any way to combine them? I asked. Kami nodded. You can also write their full names down if you'd like. She said, seeing where I was going with this. I smirked evilly. I'm so gonna mess with people. I messed with the settings to get my desired family. Will they get memories of me? I asked. With certain paths you choose for your family, yes. She said. Chosen family. Mother. Tsunade Senju. Father. Minato Namikaze. Brother. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Godfather. Jiraiya. Grandfathers. Hashirama Senju. Madara Uchiha. Is this too op? I ask. Kami nodded. Oh well, gotta add Kurama to it. The goddess deadpanned. Time you wish to join? I smirk and type. Time you wish to join? 8 years old. I turn to Kami. Will I be able to understand them? I ask. Kami only snapped her fingers. Now you will, she said. I smiled. She walked to me and hugged me. I know you don't know why I'm like this, or will understand, but I love you. I blink. Goodbye, for now. She pushed me into a hole. Ah, I fell. A moment later, I hit the soft ground. It didn't hurt, but I got the air knocked out of me. What happened? I groaned. I sat up and rubbed my head. That goddess, I swear. My hand. It looked so small. No. Friggin' way. I beamed. All of that was real? I jumped up and looked at myself. All of a sudden, memories flashed into my head, making me dizzy. Whoa. I swayed. Holding onto a tree, I pieced my life together. I was born by Tsunade Senju after a one-night stand by Minato, an honest mistake. Kushina almost divorced him but didn't, seeing that Naruto was in her belly, along with me and Tsunade's. After the birth of me and Naruto, we became Jinchuriku. I was kidnapped by Orochimaru but managed to escape. So that's why I look like shit. I grunted. I ran for Konoha, having a general idea where it was. It was like a beacon telling me where to go. An hour later I found myself at the gate. Hello? I asked Jonin on gate duty. Is this Konoha? I asked. They knelt down and had a kind look. Yes it is. Who are you, little guy? One of them ruffled my hair. I don't know. I realized, shit, I don't have a name. I'm 11. I blurt out. 11? That's the best I could come up with? Oi, Kurama, wake up fox. I scream in my mind, not getting a response. 11? That's a curious name. Would you please come with me? Jonin asked. I nodded. I walked around. It's really Konoha. All my life I've always wanted to come here and now I am. We make our way to the Hokage mansion. This place is big. I mumbled. The Jonin chuckled. Wait right here. We got to the door and the Jonin knocked. Enter. An elderly voice called out. OMG, it's Hiruzen. I scream in my mind. A moment later I was in the office of the Hokage. To my surprise he looked exactly like what I thought, Naruto, was real. Hello young one. Hiruzen said kindly and knelt down. Who are you? He asked. 11. I said shyly. Do you know your parents? He asked. Payback for kidnapping me, Orochimaru Teme. I shook my head. I know he wasn't my papa, he had dark hair, I'm blonde. I hate snakes. I shivered. Hiruzen had a somewhat serious face. Do you know his name, 11? He asked. I tilted my head. Orochi? No, I scrunched my face cutely. Orochimaru? Hiruzen said cautiously. You know Orochimaru Teme? I shouted. He hurt me. I frowned. I needed to cry to make it believable. I thought of my first mom. Tears started flowing out of my eyes. He said my family hates me, that they wouldn't miss me. I fell to my knees, making Hiruzen hold me. He said my Ka-chan would rather drink than miss me. I cried. I was honestly telling the truth. I gathered everything he said about Tsunade and Minato. I mean my mom and dad. I wiped my eyes, they felt weird. Do I have the Sharingan? I asked myself. As I wiped my tears away, I looked at the old man, who gasped at my eyes. Do you know who they are? I asked. Hiruzen tucked the Sharingan away for a later date, not wanting to confuse the little boy. Let's go to the hospital. There we can do a DNA test to see if they were from here. Hiruzen grabbed my shoulder and shunshin there. I wobbled, not used to the technique. Easy there. Hiruzen chuckled. We walked over to the receptionist desk. Hello Hokage-sama. She smiled. I'm here for a DNA test Nanaki-san. He told the receptionist. Right away. She gave Hiruzen a clipboard and me a sucker. It felt good to be a kid again. The doctor drew blood from me and a few minutes later came back with the results. I almost smirked at the face the doctor made, it was priceless. Dr. San, what's wrong? Hiruzen asked. Come outside Hokage-sama. The doctor said, the old Hokage is following. I think it's because of Kurama, I have amazing hearing. He's their son? That's impossible. Hiruzen said, his blood is a match for them both. We must let her know. The doctor said, we do not know how she will react. She is out of the village for a reason. We will tell her when the time is right. When he is ready. I grumbled, of course Kami would make it so the timeline was close to the original. The door opened with Hiruzen shuffling me out. While I cannot tell you whom your parents are right now, I can assure you that you are not alone. Hiruzen put a hand on my shoulder. But I know my two-chan though. I tilted my head. That man told me who he is, how he was jealous of him. I pouted. That's why I came here. I could see the surprise evident on his face. I just want to know my Ka-chan, but you can't. But why am I not alone? I asked. Hiruzen cleared his throat. While it is a surprise you know your father, for your security, do not tell anyone, especially your brother. I tilt my head. Brother? I asked. Yes, you have a brother. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. My eyes widened. Would you like to meet him? Hiruzen asked. I was already pulling the old man along. What are we waiting for? I shouted in glee. Hiruzen chuckled. After realizing I'm not all too familiar with the village, Hiruzen took the lead. We arrived at a park where a blonde sat at the swing alone. Is that him? I asked. Hiruzen nodded. I sprinted towards the blonde whiskered boy. Hey, I called out, getting his attention. Naruto jumped. What do you want? I already got the swing. Naruto said defensively. I know silly, can I push you? I asked. Naruto beamed. Really? Naruto asked. I nodded with a happy smile. We played for an hour till Naruto realized the Hokage was there. Hokage Gigi. Naruto yelled out, pulling me along. Hello, Naruto-kun. Hiruzen smiled. Who's your friend? He asked. The whiskered boy turned around. You already know who I am though. I pouted. Hey, indeed I do. Naruto looked confused at us. Who is he? Naruto asked Hiruzen. Naruto-kun, this is 11. I cut him off. Michito. I corrected it. Hiruzen just raised an eyebrow. This is Michito, your brother. Hiruzen said bluntly. Idiot. I scream. Brother? But he doesn't look like me Gigi. Naruto tilted his head. Yep, I'm your Ni-san. I gave a toothy smile. You're joking, right? Naruto asked, not believing this. He's your real brother, Naruto-kun. Just from a different mother I'm afraid. Naruto looked at me and smiled. Guess he's not gonna question where I've been after all. I say to myself. Naruto glomped me into a hug. Ni-chan, he cried. Ni-san. I hugged him back. We cry for a moment and wipe our tears away. Nay, old man, where are we staying? I asked. You will be living with Naruto-kun. Hiruzen said. Yes. Naruto jumped happily. Let's go Ni-chan. Naruto grabbed my hand and pulled me to his apartment, which I definitely need to teach him manners. When we got there, I gagged. When I read those fanfictions, I thought they were exaggerating how much they hate Naruto. Boy was I wrong. There was graffiti about Naruto being a demon boy, how he should have died, etc. Those to me's. I growled. How dare they do that to you, Naruto? I seethed. It's okay, Ni-chan. He said, his voice was monotone. I'll help clean this with you. I sighed. We spent the next 20 minutes cleaning the words. When we actually walked into his house, it was cleaner than I thought, except for some dishes. I have the academy tomorrow, will you be a part of it? He asked. I shrugged. I think Hokage Gigi will talk to me tomorrow about joining. I said, sitting on the floor as he made my bed. Alright. Well, once you are in the academy with me, we'll show them. Naruto smiled. I chuckled. Hey, Naruto? I asked. What? Naruto asked. Do you have a dream? I responded. Naruto stopped. Yeah, he grinned. I want to become the greatest Hokage. Better than the fourth, he is my idol. I chuckle. Oi, what's so funny? He yelled. He obviously has Kushina's personality alright. I shook my head and hugged him. Nothing, I'll support your dream, Ni-san. I know you'll did. Naruto relaxed. Of course I'll do it, TT Ibeo. He yelled. Ha, I laughed. Nay, do you have any ramen? I asked. Naruto's grin went even wider. You love ramen too? He asked. I smirk. Do I love the food of the gods? Yes. He grabbed my hand into a firm handshake. I officially take you as my brother. Naruto said. As do I. I squeezed his hand. Next day, Naruto went to the academy and Hiruzen and I went to the office of the academy. Hiruzen already talked to me about joining, which I said yes immediately. It only took 10 minutes to get registered and Hiruzen smiled at my hyperactive mood from this. They called Iruka into the office. Yes, principal? He asked. Ah, Iruka-san, I have a new student who will be joining your class. The principal said. Iruka turned to me and bowed. Nice to meet you, he said respectfully. Hi, I beamed. Everyone's sweat dropped. I'll take him to class now, we were about to do spars. Iruka shuffled me out. Oh boy, I'm nervous. I was wearing some clean clothes Hiruzen gave me in the morning. They were a long red shirt and blue shorts along with black shinobi sandals. Iruka walked into the class. Oh god, they look so young. Class, we have a new student, please introduce yourself. Iruka shuffled me forward. I could literally see the blushes coming from the girls, and the glares from the boys except for who I could tell from the brooding was Sasuke and my brother, Naruto. I gave a confident grin and wrote my name on the chalkboard. My name is Michito Uzumaki. I yelled then bowed. Please treat me well, I said with less volume. Wait, Uzumaki? Someone said, that's right, I'm Naruto's brother. I said, why don't you look like him then? And where have you been? A boy who I could tell was Kiba because of the dog. I sigh, although I wasn't around in this world that time, I still had the memories. I was out of the village, I don't remember much, I kinda lost my memories except for a week ago. I rubbed my head and looked over to Iruka. Don't worry, why don't you go sit down? He whispered to me, he could tell it was a sore subject and the Hokage probably told him my condition. I walk over and turn to a blonde girl. May I sit here? I asked. No, this seat is reserved for Sasuke-kun. She huffed. Who? I deadpanned, making her look like an idiot. Him, she said in awe as she pointed at the raven-haired Uchiha. He seems like he's seen some shit. I muttered. I shrugged and sat next to my brother, no harm could come from it. As the introductions got over with, Iruka started filing the class out for spars. Normally it would be separated, I could pick who since I was new and Iruka wanted to test my skills. I pick you. I pointed at Sasuke, who glared at me. Why not me? Naruto whined. Because I want to see if Sasuke is strong, I could already see it in his eyes. I grinned. I was already a black belt in Taekwondo, let's see if it's anything compared to the interceptor fist. As we got into the sparring circle, we got into our stances, I started to bounce to throw off my enemy. Everyone raised an eyebrow at this. Ready, begin, Iruka yelled. Sasuke ran at me intended for this to be a quick match. He looked super slow compared to what it normally was. Thanks for that Kami-chan. I scream in my mind. She basically gave me ultra instinct. I just stood still, his punch came at me at the last moment as if time froze, which it did for me. I grabbed Sasuke's wrist and launched back to where he started. What the? Iruka blinked. In a flash of yellow, I was behind Sasuke, who swung a backhand at me, which connected and threw me to the edge of the circle. As he kept throwing punches and kicks, I just blocked and dodged all the strikes. Damn it, Sasuke growled. I looked over to Iruka, who was sending me a questioning look. I sigh. I duck under his latest punch and put a palm on Sasuke's stomach. I applied chakra to my palm and pushed Sasuke, throwing him out of the ring by an inch. Winner. Michito Uzumaki, Iruka said, astonished. All the boys came over, Naruto hugging me. You had to teach me how you did that. Naruto yelled. I just pushed him really, the rest was just speed. I had to train harder than anything I've known to get to that. I said. I walked over to Sasuke, who was glaring into my soul. That was a good match, you are freaking strong. I held out a hand, confusing the boy. Wanna train sometime? I asked. Sasuke-kun, don't fall for it. Sakura screeched. Yeah, he's just jealous. Another fangirl yelled. Oi, let him decide for himself. I growl. Michito. Naruto said. Don't bother, he doesn't like anything. I rolled my eyes. We can talk later, Sasuke. I said, walking to the side next to Naruto. I turned to see Hinata. She was so adorable. She was glancing over at Naruto from time to time, blushing of course. She finally noticed I was looking over at her. I waved her off and gave her a wink, showing I wasn't gonna say anything to Naruto. Oh, how this life was gonna be great. 4 years later. Over the past 4 years, Michito asked for some of his father's information, which confused Naruto. Michito, with the encouragement of Iruka, studied with Naruto after convincing him that it made a Hokage wise. Michito had also taught Naruto the leaf exercise, showing Naruto the steps. After Naruto was able to stick leaves on different parts of his body, Michito made sure to practice the exercise himself. It took forever to connect to his chakra. Seeing as it was a new experience, it took the help of Sarutobi to find and harness his chakra, which was the same to close amounts to Naruto. As Naruto and Michito grew up together, the people of Konoha hated Michito for being the demon's blood. Michito had his father's cold blue eyes, his mother's straight hair, and her chin. But the civilians almost pissed themselves when they saw Michito give them a death stare right back at them. The council was what Michito expected. The civilians were always butting in, being disrespectful. Michito wasn't gonna have that in his presence. After learning how to control his killing intent, he made it known that he wasn't afraid of murder. Flashback. Michito sat in the chair in front of the council, on the right of him the civilians, the left were the shinobi. The elders were behind Hiruzen. Michito yawned. Why am I here? I asked in a bored tone. Watch your mouth, brat. A chubby civilian yelled. Shut up, I said, throwing my key at him, making said man gulp. Calm down. Hiruzen sighed. I take back the key. You are here because the council would want to speak with you. Hiruzen said. Of course. I rolled my eyes. You will talk with respect in front of this council. Haruno yelled. Shut it, Banshee, I report only to the Hokage, not to you, or old men who are in the shadows. I noticed Danzo narrow his eye at me. What do you want? I crossed my arms. I heard Hiyashi Hyuga speak up. We would like to know why you claim to be Naruto Uzumaki's brother. Hiyashi said respectfully. Oh, that's it? Well, it's because we have the same dad, I think. At least that's what the doctor said who did the blood test. I shrugged. Who is his father? Shikaku Nara asked. Namikaze Minato. I have the blood test right here, along with his birth mother. Hiruzen lifted a folder. However, for her safety, I will not disclose her at the moment. I have told Jiraiya-kun, as he is his godfather. I whip my head in surprise at the Hokage. I have a godfather? I yell, making everyone cringe. Hiruzen nodded. He is out on a mission at the moment that is vital to the village, but shall return by the time you and Naruto-kun graduate. I smile. I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm a damn pervert. In my old life I had so much porn saved up, it was kinda disturbing. So me and Jiraiya would get along just great, but when I find my mom, I'll be a closet perv because ain't no way I'm taking one of her punches. This will be an S-class secret, Michito-kun. You must not tell anyone, even your brother. Hiruzen said seriously. I stand and bow. As you wish, Hokage Jiji-sama. I say in full seriousness, making Hiruzen sweat drop. You are relieved for the day, Michito-kun. Go find your brother and study. Hiruzen says. I nod and leave the council room. As I walk down the road, I receive vicious and hateful looks, which I smirk at. Don't let them see weakness, that's how they win. Damn brat, his brother is a troublemaker, he's probably worse. A man says. I grin. Afterwards, the last months of the academy went by pretty fast, and we were met with the final exam. Oh, I forgot to mention. I pummeled Mizuki and gave him a beating rivaling my mom. Oi, Naruto, wake up damn it, I yelled as I barged into his room, making him fly off his bed. Huh? What? Naruto asked quickly. It's the graduation exam, baka. You didn't study, I yell, making Naruto pale. It's today? I thought it was tomorrow. Naruto jumped to his feet and got dressed quickly. It is, but we're freaking late. As soon as he finished getting ready, we ran to the academy. Last one there has to buy the ramen. I yell, making Naruto growl. Get back here, Teme. Naruto yelled. Naruto and I made it to the academy as Iruka-sensei and Mizuki were taking roll. I smile at what I realized in my mind. And so the start of Naruto has arrived. Episode 1. Enter Naruto Uzumaki. I mutter. Naruto looks at me confused. Sorry, my mind is messing with me. I rub the back of my head sheepishly. Naruto, pay attention. You failed the graduation test last time and the time before that. This is another chance, and you're already messing up again. Iruka scolded. Naruto just huffed. Iruka had a vein popping. Alright, since you missed it, everyone will review the transformation jutsu. The class erupted in awes. Sakura was first up. Sakura here. Let's do it. She put her hands into the ram hand sign and puffed into a cloud of smoke. Transformed into me. Good. Iruka nodded. Yes, I did it. Sakura cheered. Naruto smiled brightly. God, I wish I could get rid of that damn crush he's got. Sasuke-kun, did you see that? She asked. Sasuke ignored her. Next, Sasuke Uchiha. Iruka said from the clipboard. Sasuke walked up, hands in his pockets and transformed. He turned into Iruka, making me sweat drop. Good. Iruka said. Next up, Michito Uzumaki. Iruka said. We had a solid relationship, although I did prank him with mild stuff compared to Naruto. I walk up with a confident smirk. I transform into Naruto from a tale of a gutsy ninja, making all the girls blush like crazy. That's good, Michito, but who is that? He asked. I smirked and pointed at Naruto. Him when he's older. I just put in an estimate and got this, though now that I'm looking at it. It looks like Yunem-sama. I tilted my head, knowing what I said to be true, and giving Naruto the hint to his parentage. That baka could never look good. Sakura said. Shut it, fangirl. I growl, showing my canines. Making her back off. Naruto Uzumaki. Iruka announced. This is a waste of time, Naruto. I look in shock. Did they just ignore what I said about the Yunem? I yell in my head. Oi, keep it down. Some of us are trying to sleep. Kurama yelled from within me. Yeah, I got on good terms with my Kurama. All it took was to basically watch all of Naruto to see how it ended in the future with him. After some bickering from Ino and the class, Naruto went up to do his transformation. Transform. Naruto's chakra could be seen. Poof. A busty blonde, covered up with clouds seductively blew Iruka a kiss. Iruka got a massive nosebleed. Don't do that again. Iruka raged. I wiped away the trickle of blood coming from my nose. After school, Naruto was pulled away by Iruka and then I realized something. He still painted the freaking Hokage mountain. How? I yell. I soon shake my head. I'll let Iruka bond with Naruto a little. See you around, future father-in-law. I mutter under my breath. Later that night as I was sitting at Ichiraku Ramen, Ayame was chatting with me about the graduation as she did the dishes. As I talked about how my studies were going, I went into my thoughts. I realized this after my attempt at showing Naruto the flying Raijin technique. Naruto couldn't understand a thing and found it dumb. I, of course, understood all of the fuinjutsu that was involved. Fanfiction pretty much gave me my knowledge of the art. I was close to cracking the code and making the move my own. As I continued eating ramen, I was broken from my thoughts when Iruka and Naruto entered the noodle stand. Michito, you're here, Iruka said in surprise. Sup? I nodded and motioned the two to sit down. Hey Naruto, Iruka, what can I get for you? Tucci asked. Miso ramen with extra Naruto. The blonde smiled. My regular Tucci-san. Iruka smiled and patted the boy's head. Coming right up. The old man smiled. When they started eating, Naruto was finally asked. Naruto. Iruka spoke up, getting his attention. Why would you do that to the Hokage faces? Iruka asked. I mean, you know who the Hokage are, don't you? I smiled. When Naruto finished his ramen, he gave Iruka his answer. They were the greatest shinobi of their time, right? I nodded. And the Yundime's the one who saved the village from the Kyuubi. He was the most amazing. Naruto said in wonder. Hear that too, San? Naruto admires you, I smiled. Then why did you? Because I'm going to be greater than any of them. Me, Naruto. The next Hokage. Naruto yelled with confidence. Well, maybe a future Hokage, Naruto. We still have some growing up to do first. I chuckled. When I am Hokage, they'll have to stop disrespecting us, and look up to me, Dat Bayo. He yelled. I smiled at the thoughts of Naruto being the Hokage. He became the 7th Hokage, and was loved throughout the nations. But in all honesty, without Kurama he still had a lot of chakra and sage mode. But he doesn't really have the skills he had back then, or the speed and strength. A trip with Guy was due later. We will now start the final exam. When your name is called, proceed to the testing room. Iruka said at his podium. The final test will be on the clone jutsu. Iruka said, making Naruto pale. That's my worst jutsu. Naruto yelled. I smiled, knowing his thoughts. I already had a plan. I did great on the shuriken, taijutsu, and after dispelling a shitty genjutsu, the written exam. Now onto the ninjutsu portion. As the kids went on, many came out with their headbands. Next, Michito Uzumaki. Iruka called out, making myself stand up. Good luck. Kiba smiled. I winked and pet Akamaru. Arf. Akamaru barked giddily. I walked into the room, glaring at Mizuki. Alright, show us what you got. Iruka said, making me grin evilly. I put my fingers into a cross. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. I yell, making the room become a cloud. As the cloud disappeared, I stood there, smiling at a gawking Iruka, and a seething but fearful Mizuki. I turned to see 10 clones standing and grinning my grin. So, how'd I do? I asked as I walked over to the desk, making the clones disappear. You pass. Iruka smiled. I grinned happily. When Hiruzen found me training this jutsu, I just told him Orochimaru had a scroll about it and I was pretty much in the clear. I grabbed my headband and walked out of the room, not bothering to wear it. I refuse to wear this headband. I want to wear the specialized one I made. I walk over and show him the headband. Naruto Uzumaki. Iruka shouted, and Naruto got up. Hey, you'll do fine, make sure you breathe. I comforted him, making him smile. He walked out and as soon as he did, Ino came walking up to me along with Sakura. Sup girls? I nodded my head. What do you want? I asked. We all know Naruto is gonna fail. Why bother helping him? Sakura asked. Because he's my brother. I shrugged. And that's what a shinobi does. They help out their comrades. Those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. I growl out, exiting the room to leave everyone stunned. I sat by the swing next to the academy, and a few minutes later, all the kids walked out with their parents congratulating them on graduating. Naruto's eyes were aimed at the ground in despair. Naruto? I got up. What's wrong? I put a hand on his shoulder. I didn't pass, he said with no emotion. I did what any reasonable person did, I hugged him. It's all right, Naruto. I'm not upset or disappointed. I let him hug me as I heard quiet sobs. A minute later we quit crying and wiped his tears away. Look, it's that boy. A woman said, I heard he's the only one that failed. Another one said, HMPH. Well, serves him right. I growl louder and louder as the hateful glares bore onto my brother. I've heard enough. Shut the fuck up. I scream, making everyone turn to me in surprise, even the ninja. They turned to see a surprised Naruto looking up at his brother, who had a Sharingan blazing full of hate. I have had it with you people. Don't you realize that he's just a fucking kid? All these years I have seen what you fools do. You let hate and fear guide you. Stop it already. I scream, flaring all my ki at them, making them tense and back off. Uzumaki Michito. Stand down. Hiruzen demanded, seeing me reveal my Sharingan. I take a deep breath and calm down, everyone looking at me. I will see you later in my office, Michito. He turned to the crowd. On with your business, everyone. The crowd walked away, frightened at the scene they had just witnessed, and confused. The boy has the Sharingan, but Sasuke was the only Uchiha in the village. Naruto and Michito turned to see Mizuki. I scowl, but I know what this means. I'll see you later, Ni-san. I need to cool off. I walked away, going to the memorial stone. As I sit in front of a house in a forest, Naruto pops out. Ah, Michito? What are you doing here? Are you part of the exam? Naruto asked. I tilt my head. Exam? I asked. Yeah, Mizuki-sensei told me if I learn this super cool jutsu, I'll be able to graduate. Naruto beamed. Really? That's awesome. I beamed right back. Alright, I'll help you pass. I grab the scroll and open it up and point at the first jutsu. Another clone jutsu. Naruto groans. I think it's first because it's the easiest. I smiled. I turned to see the one jutsu I wanted. Rasengan, it said. I look at the instructions for it. It was easy to understand. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. I say, 5 clones appear in the place. Wait, you know it already? Naruto jumped. Yeah, I knew it before I came to the village. I just didn't have enough chakra till a year ago. I shrugged, making the boy calm down. You practice the clone technique, I'll do the Rasengan. I say, summoning some water balloons from a scroll. Let's begin. I yell at my clones. Step 1, rotation. I say, making them focus intently. I do tree climbing as they continue. A few minutes later I heard a poof, and the memories came back to me. One of them figured it out. Good. Now step 2, power. I throw balls at the new clones I made and make them work. I may be the fastest learner in the elemental nations, because I learned all this in my past life already. I just needed to do it for real. 2 hours later, a clone popped. They did it correctly. Good, because I ran out of balls hehe. I turned to look at Naruto, who looked done with his jutsu. He was panting heavily. Naruto and Michito heard footsteps and turned to find a majorly pissed off Iruka. It's all over. He laughed. Hehehehe. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Huh? Iruka looked over at both Michito and Naruto. Got me already. Not bad. You're quick, sensei. He chuckled. Oh, but don't blame Michito, he didn't help me. Naruto was quick to speak. Listen, Iruka-sensei. I'm gonna show you this amazing jutsu, and you're gonna let me graduate. Then everything will be okay. Naruto smiled. Iruka just had a confused look. Huh? Where'd you get that idea? Iruka demanded. Mizuki-sensei told me about it, TT Ibeo. He told me where to find the scroll, and this place. Naruto trailed off seeing the horrified Iruka. Michito and Iruka turned to see kunai flying at Naruto. Naruto, look out. I pushed Naruto out of the way, getting impaled by several kunai. God, it hurts like a bitch. I yelled in pain. I fell to my knees. I see you found our little hideaway. Mizuki said. So that's the way it is, huh? Iruka seethed. Naruto, give me the scroll, now. Mizuki yelled. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Naruto asked, still in shock at seeing his brother taking kunai meant for him. Naruto, don't let Mizuki get the scroll. Iruka yelled. It contains forbidden jutsu that could put this village in grave danger. Mizuki used you to get the scroll for himself, for his own power. Iruka yelled. Naruto, Iruka's just trying to scare you because he doesn't want you to have the scroll. Naruto went wide-eyed. They've been lying to you your whole life, Naruto. Since the decree 12 years ago. Iruka went wide-eyed. No Mizuki. Iruka yelled. Everyone knows except you, even Michito knows it. Mizuki grinned. Naruto looked at me, while I glared at Mizuki. What is this decree? Naruto asked. Why does everyone else know about it? Naruto frowned. The decree is, no one can tell you the Kyuubi is inside you. Mizuki grinned evilly. Naruto looked in shock. The fox spirit that killed Iruka's parents and destroyed our village has taken over your body. You are the Kyuubi. Mizuki roared. They've all been sneaking around, hiding things from you your whole life. Didn't you think it was strange how they treated you? Like dirt, they've hated you for just being alive. Boots moving in the earth were heard and everyone turned to the other blonde. I've heard enough. I scowled. Now shut the hell up, Teme. I get up finally, pulling a kunai out of my shoulder. Naruto, run, I pant. Mizuki scowled and threw the Fuma shuriken at me. Michito, Naruto, look out. Iruka jumped in the way in order for the brothers not to get hit by the giant shuriken. As Iruka talked about his past, Naruto took off, leaving the 3 ninja to talk. Naruto, come on, we have to hide. I yell, grabbing Naruto's hand. Get away from me. I'm Kyuubi. Naruto cried. I frowned. Naruto, you are my brother. You have never been the Kyuubi. I say, lifting up his shirt. And besides, I lift my shirt. If you're Kyuubi, I must be the same. I smile at Naruto's eyes going wide. We're the same. I say, then duck my head at hearing Iruka and Mizuki speak. Why are you protecting those freaks? He's the one that wiped out your family, and Michito is no different. He has a beast in him too, but he's already aware he's a demon. Mizuki scowled. Naruto wants the scroll for his own power and his own vengeance. Michito will follow after him. That's how beasts are. Mizuki explained. Michito was waiting for the perfect opportunity. You're right, Iruka said, making Naruto gasp. So it's true. Iruka-sensei never believed in me. Naruto said. I put a hand on his shoulder for comfort. That is how beasts are. Iruka spoke up. But that's not who Naruto and Michito are. They are nothing like that. Naruto is one of a kind, works hard, puts his whole heart into it. Sure, everyone jumps him and acts out, but his suffering only makes him stronger. And Michito is the same. Naruto, hearing these important words, the words that defined his path, he starts crying. So you're wrong, he's nothing like the Kyuubi. They are Naruto and Michito Uzumaki of the village hidden in the leaves. Iruka declares. I close my eyes and smile, it's almost time. As soon as Naruto jumped in to save Iruka, I made my move. In a flash of yellow, I stood there, making my debut. If you ever lay a hand on our sensei, we'll kill you, Naruto and I said in perfect sync. I could destroy you in a single move. Mizuki yelled. I smirked and finally tied my Konoha shinobi headband. It had a black fabric with a red chakra-sensitive metal and black symbol. Yeah right, Naruto and I said, still in sync. At the same time, we put our hands into the cross hand sign. We'll send it back 1,000-fold. Let's see you two try. Mizuki yelled in anger. Let's do it, brother. I yell. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. We both yelled. The whole area was covered with orange and blue blondes. If you're not gonna come to us, I say, then we'll come to you. Naruto laughed. 5 minutes later, a shattered and completely destroyed Mizuki was picked up by the Anbu as Naruto went over to check on their sensei. Naruto, close your eyes. Iruka said softly. Naruto did so, feeling his goggles get taken off and something else be put on his head. Alright, you can open your eyes. Iruka smiled. Congratulations Naruto, you graduate. Naruto smiled and cried into Iruka's chest. That night in Michito's dream, I opened my eyes to my old world. This was the same dream. This time was different though. I turned to see Cammy standing there. I won't lie, she kinda looked like a porn star, but with dignity. I know. But she has the grace of a goddess and the body of a star, don't blame me. Hello Michael. How are you enjoying your gift? Cammy asked. I smiled at her. It's the best, I say. She looks at my dream computer and scrolls through all the fanfiction. Well, I have one last gift for you Michael. She turned to me. I raised an eyebrow. What's that? I asked. She smiled. I will let you choose if you would like to add a crossover, if so, which one? She stated. But no Dragon Ball. She pointed out. Bah, it's too overpowered. Goku could one-hit Hagoromo. I chuckle. Cammy giggled. For an American, you sure are funny. She said, thanks. I wink at her. I go to my computer and sit down. I look at the screen and see my Michito body. Can I edit my look? I asked. She shook her head. You will have to do that in the world manually. She stated. I nodded and continued to scroll. I came across a fanfiction I would have loved to see more of. Can I do the Star Wars fanfiction? I asked. Of course. She said, flicking her wrist, throwing me into a lightsaber creator table. Sweet. I get to build my own lightsaber. I grinned and turned to see all the Kyber crystals. They had all colors. Touch the gray one to show your connection to the Force. I recited and touched the gray crystal, making it go green. Oh, well that was basic. I said, annoyed. I piece my lightsaber together and finish it. Done. I shouted in glee. Just before I ignited it, Cammy snapped her fingers and started. I hid it in the land of waves, so go on that mission and earn it. I raised an eyebrow and smiled. Bet. I yelled. Cammy smiled warmly. Well Michael, time for you to wake up, and may the Force be with you. She said. Everything was going white. Ah, I gasp. Naruto. I jump out of bed and go to his bed, waking him up. Naruto groaned. Naruto Uzumaki, wake up or else you will have to do 3 laps around Konoha with your hands. I demanded, making my brother jump up at attention. What the hell, Ni-san? He yelled. I smiled and turned my back to him. Let's go train, Hokage never rests. I started walking out. Naruto followed shortly after. We went to training field 7 and started to stretch. Alright, make some clones, I stated, making Naruto do them. What now? He asked. You remember the tree exercise we did? Naruto nodded. Practice that so your chakra control is better than before. Hokage does this at your age, and since you have Kyuubi, he will constantly be messing with your chakra. I said, but you have the furball as well. Naruto yelled. But I have great chakra control because of training, you're close behind. I will be training with you, I explained, making him calm down. Now then, we have today and tomorrow morning to train till we get our senseis, I said, making Naruto grin. Let's get to work, Michito. Naruto smirked. I grin evilly. Good. My world domination plan for all-you-can-eat ramen plan is working out perfectly. Soon, I can have all the ramen I want. H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A. I laugh maniacally in my mind. Shut the fuck up, Michael. Kurama roared, making me flinch. TCH, party pooper, I muttered in my mind. After making my brother wash his face, we took our registration picture. We also met Konohamaru. We had fun the rest of the day running from Ebisu. It was time for team placements. I have been meditating with the force all night, and it's actually pretty easy to control. I'm not surprisingly extremely strong in the force. I meditated all night, and the fact that I was able to sense everything in Konoha, I'd say my range is impressive, but the heaviest thing I could lift right now was a chair. Now it was 8 in the morning. After changing the milk later that day, I woke Naruto up for breakfast. Who do you think is gonna be on our team's Michito? Naruto asked while eating cereal. I smile. Who knows, Hokage Gigi has the final say. I took a bite out of my eggs. As long as we're a team, nobody can stop us. Naruto grinned. I nod sagely. What's the first thing a shinobi does? I ask. Never put yourself before the mission, sir. Naruto said in attention, like a soldier. Very good. And what is our mission? I ask, pacing in front of him. To be Hokage, sir. Naruto saluted. That is correct, Private. And what kind of Hokage will you be? I yell. I'll be the best Hokage, Datbeo. Sir. Naruto yelled. Then let's go start our journey to becoming the best of the best. I ran out, Naruto following after. I make a cage bunshin to clean up the mess, to impress the Hokage and Kakashi. We ran to the academy, getting there before anyone but Sasuke. I open the door to the classroom, and see Sasuke. I walk over to him and smile. HN, what do you want? Sasuke glared. Be ready for the fangirls, they'll all come asking for a seat, so get ready to ignore them. Sasuke sighed. Fine, leave me alone, you're bothering me. The Uchiha said, fine, fine. I raise my hands in defeat. I go sit down with Naruto, making sure we're as far away from Sasuke as possible. Why are we over here? Naruto asked. Just watch. I smirk. As the students piled in, Shikamaru strolled by with his hands in his pockets, signifying his lack of caring about being there. What are you doing here, Naruto? You shouldn't be here unless you graduated. Shikamaru said, lazily. Oh yeah, do you see the headband on my forehead? I graduated. Naruto pointed to his headband. Whatever. Shikamaru continued to stroll on by. I chuckled at the pineapple. I turned to see a happy Hinata sitting in the back, blushing towards the blonde. Hey, Naruto. I'll be right back. I say. He gained a curious look. Gotta take a piss, I said, and he nodded. I walked to the back and signaled Hinata to follow me. She did hesitantly. We stood out in the halls. Hinata-san, I said. Hello, Michito-kun. She pushed her fingers together. Guessing you have no idea why I asked you out here? I smiled. She nodded. Well, I just wanted to tell you that I support you and Naruto. I wink, making the Hyuga girl go crimson. What do you mean? She asked. I mean, if you and Naruto got together, I wouldn't mind. He told me about the first time he met you, saving you from those bullies. Hinata went wide-eyed. I nod. He may be the most dense brother ever, but his memory is amazing since I beat the shit trained it into him. I correct myself. Naruto. They heard from down the hall, both ran to see Naruto and Sasuke kissing. I snorted. It was taking everything I had not to laugh. Kami, I want my phone back. People have got to see this. I yell in my mind. Suddenly, my old phone appeared in my hand. Whoa, I smiled. I took a burst of pictures and put my phone away before anyone saw. You know I have to have the phone back, right? Cammy said, making me pout but nod. I refocus myself to see Ruka yelling at me to get in a seat. I'm going, mate, I yell. I went to my seat and crossed both my arms and legs. As of today, you are all ninja. Iruka went on through his graduation speech. As the teams were announced, my name hadn't been called yet. Squad 7, Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha. A mix of emotion rolled off the pink and blonde-haired ninja. Squad 8, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inazuka, and Shino Aburame. Ayuka announced, making Naruto smile. Soon Team 10 was called, making Ino scream out. I laugh. What's so funny, Michito? Ino growled dangerously. The fact that you make the new generation of the Ino Shikacho squad, and given your attitude, it'll most likely not work out for now. I settled down. Those are all the squads. Iruka announced. I raised an eyebrow. Shouldn't I get Anko or some shit? Wait, Iruka-sensei, what about me? I pointed at myself. The Hokage would like to see you personally, Michito. Iruka said, signaling for lunch soon after. Sakura went looking for Sasuke, and Naruto went to ask Sakura out. I went to the Hokage tower via body flicker. I showed up a few minutes later outside the window. I knock on the window. Open up, Gramps, I said. Hiruzen opened up the window and let me in. Michito-kun, I see Iruka gave you my message. I nodded. Why aren't I on a squad? I asked. You see, there were an odd amount of students, so I came up with a solution. Hiruzen said. I must hurry though, I need to speak with Kakashi. Hiruzen gave me a slip, telling me to meet him in 3 hours at the front gate. I raised an eyebrow but nodded. Oh, and I believe you are ready to know something. Hiruzen snapped his fingers. You and Naruto's godfather sent this to me, to give to you. Hiruzen gave me a package. I smiled and accepted the box. Wonder what it is, I said. Hiruzen smirked. Go on now and open it at home. Hiruzen said. But it's still lunch, I said, making Hiruzen wave me off. It's fine, nothing like a perfect entrance, right? I smirked. I like you, Hiruzen. I smile. As do I, Michito, as do I. We went our separate ways. I hurried home to open up what I think it was. Once I got there, I ripped open the box. I almost passed out by what it was. They're going to freak out. I smirk. As all the students came through the door, they sat at their seats waiting for their senseis. A moment after the bell rang, Naruto looked around for his brother. Hey, where's Michito? Naruto asked. I saw him leave, he's probably already gone to the Hokage. Kiba stated. You wanna bet? A voice called out from the ceiling. All the students looked up to see a cloaked figure with a hood covering his head. The figure fell to the front of the class without making a sound. Who are you? Sakura yelled, seeing the figure's back turned towards them. I am someone you would least expect. The voice said. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. I didn't even sense him. Who is he? Sasuke thought. The figure had 2 blades sheathed along his back. Naruto recognized those. Michito made them with the help of a girl named Ten. The figure also had on black steel-toe boots, fingerless gloves with the Konoha insignia signed onto plates that were attached to them. He also had on black camo tactical pants. The figure was screaming authority and respect, which was well received. Wait, I know him. He was cut off. How could a loser like you know him? Sakura went to punch Naruto upside the head, but with speeds only Sasuke could see, the figure's hand grasped hers. I suggest you don't punch anyone, unless it's for spares or an enemy. The figure said coldly, making Sakura shake. Sakura could see cold red eyes glaring at her. The Sharingan? Sasuke screamed in his mind. Who are you? Sasuke seethed. I am what was lost but make my way around. I am fast when I want, but slow if need be. The figure gave them a riddle. Time, Shikamaru answered. Correct, for that. You are worthy of knowing who I am. When the time is right. The figure puffed into smoke. Everyone stared at where the figure was. Naruto found a note in his hand. Please don't tell anyone that it was me, Ni-chan. Naruto nodded and put the note away. Outside, the figure was crouching on a branch when a shinobi with silver hair landed next to him. Your father would be proud, Michito, Kakashi said. I smiled. Thanks, Kakashi. I sunshined to the front gate, leaving Kakashi to think. I landed next to Danzo, Shimura, and Hiruzen. What's going on? I asked. Michito, I think it's time you go find your mother. Hiruzen said, making my eyes go wide. I'm ready? I asked. The old Hokage nodded. Who was she? I asked, excited. You know of the Sannin, right? I nodded. Your mother is Tsunade Senju. Hiruzen announced. I went wide-eyed. Huh, I said plainly. Here. Hiruzen gave me a scroll, revealing the DNA to be a match. Why hasn't she come looking for me? I asked. She lost too much, Michito-kun. Losing you almost led to her suicide. I paled. She's evaded us and is close to being a missing nin. I will send you out on an S-rank mission with Jiraiya. I raised a surprised eyebrow. He's coming tomorrow to pick you up, and to meet Naruto-kun. When you two leave, you are to look around the land of waves. Hiruzen stated. I see now, that's another reason why I'm not on a squad. Hiruzen nodded. Yes, it was one of the reasons. Hiruzen stated. Danzo glared at Hiruzen. Very well, you have your mission given to you, go get ready. I turned to leave. Oh, and Michito-kun. I turned to see a smirking Hiruzen. Nice outfit. I smirked and shunshined back home. I opened the window of my room to find the box for my outfit there, along with several pairs, so I don't wear the same thing. Naruto. Are you home? I opened my door, taking off my swords. I looked around to find Naruto eating ramen at the table. You're back? I nodded, he smiled. About time. He slurped up some ramen. I made myself some spaghetti, or attempted to make spaghetti. Naruto tried some and was indifferent about it. As Naruto was eating, I decided to tell him about my mission. Hey, Naruto? I asked. He grunted. Do you know why I'm not on a team? Naruto paused. No. He turned to me. It's because I'm going on a mission by myself to find someone. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Who? Naruto asked. My mother. I said, making Naruto's eyebrows raise. I looked at Naruto with a look I've never given him, making him gulp. Hiruzen finally decided I was ready to learn about her. I said seriously. Naruto furrowed his eyebrows. It's time to take your mask off, Naruto. I said, making him nod. Time to make our father proud. Naruto said. I smirked. The elemental nations aren't ready for a weeb with god-tier chakra. And a brother under his influence. The next morning, I made Naruto eat breakfast with me. As a last meal together, we went to Ichiraku's and splurged. Afterwards, we went to the hot springs and found a man with long white hair, spying on the girls. Oi, are you Jiraiya? I called out, making Jiraiya jump down. I am Gaki. Who are you two? He asked. I'm Michito, this is my half-brother, Naruto. Naruto smiled. Although I consider him full-blood even though. Jiraiya's eyes widened. I take it by your expression, you know who we are. The Toad Sage nodded. Good, let's go find my Ka-chan. I pulled Jiraiya's arm towards the Hokage mansion. Naruto went to meet Team 7. Old man. I barged in. I found the perv. I grinned, and pulled out my Icha paradise. You have great taste. Jiraiya and I fist bumped. Just don't let your mom catch you with that. I smirked. I've read all about her, she isn't gonna catch me lacking. The two raised an eyebrow at my wording. Are you ready, Michito-kun? Hiruzen asked. I nodded. Your payment is your mother. I have no reason to pay you for a personal mission and one that is off the books. I nodded. Let's go, Gaki. Jiraiya grinned. By the way, you are expected to return for the Chunin exams. You already qualified judging by your actions throughout your mission. Hiruzen said, puffing on his weed tube thingy. Jiraiya and I went to the gate and he finally spoke up. Where's all of your stuff? He asked. I moved my cloak to reveal some scrolls. Nifty. Jiraiya smirked. Let's go, sensei. I said. Jiraiya smirked and nodded. Time to get my lightsaber and find my mom. 5 months later, 3 figures were walking towards the front gate of Konoha. One had white, spiky long hair. The other figure was covered up in a robe. The only thing you could see was a handle of some weapon attached to his belt and a red mask with white whisker marks and a Konoha symbol etched on the forehead. The last one also had a robe on, long, black hair escaping from a ponytail. She had a long handle that looked as if it was taken off of a bow staff clipped to her side. After the 3 checked into the village, they made their way to the Hokage Tower. Jiraiya knocked on the door. Come in, Hiruzen called out. All 3 entered. Ah, I was wondering when you'd return. Hiruzen smiled. The figures took off their hoods. Michito-kun, who's your friend? Hiruzen raised an eyebrow. I'm Rei Skywalker. She bowed respectfully. Nice to meet you, Skywalker-san. Hiruzen bowed. Did your mission end up successful? Hiruzen asked. Jiraiya shook his head. Thanks to the brat, she managed to get away, but some useful things happened along the way. Jiraiya gained a tick mark on his forehead. It's not my fault, the force just didn't let me. I grunted as I took off my mask, revealing a scar across my left cheek and blue eyes filled with experience. Yeah. Anyway, when are the Chunin exams? Jiraiya asked. Hiruzen sighed. 40 minutes. Both shinobi's eyes popped out. We're late, Ero Sennin. I yelled. What are you standing around for? Get your ass to the academy. Jiraiya yelled comically. In a shunshin, I made my way to the academy. Rei stayed back to tell Hiruzen why she's there. When I entered the academy, I saw a bunch of people crowded around the wrong door. Use your observation skills, count to floors and look at the room number. I make my way through them, my hood still up. I turned my head back to see Team Guide talking to Team 7. Hey, Naruto. I call out, take my hood down. Everyone turned to look at me. Who are you? My blonde brother tilted his head. Wow, only been a few months and you already forget about your big Oni-chan? I'm hurt, I said dramatically. Everyone who knew of Naruto Uzumaki's brother went wide-eyed. Michito? Naruto yelled. I smirked beneath my mask and turned it so they could see my features. I looked more like my mom now except for the bluish-brown eyes. Tenten smiled and waved, and I nodded back. How are they allowing you to participate in the Chunin exams? You don't have a team. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. I got special permission. I shrugged, I myself not knowing how I am able to participate. Whatever. He went on with his business. Rock Lee challenged him, which I may gladly say, went to canon. Sasuke needed to be humbled. Guy came out of course. That's when I made my move. Guy-sensei. I called out. Hello youthful young man. Guy shouted. I would like to join in and make my flames of youth burn even brighter than ever before. I yelled, making Guy and Lee have surprised but yet happy smiles. Yosh, I shall have your flames of youth burn brighter than ever before. What is your name? He yelled, going into his nice guy pose. Senju Namikaze Michito. I yelled, making everything go dead quiet. What was your last name? Guy asked, in a serious tone. Very few knew of the baby Tsunade and Minato had. He was one of them thanks to a certain scarecrow. I'll tell you after the Chunin exams, we're late as it is. I said, all playfulness leaving my body, pulling up my hood. In a shunshin, I was gone. I arrive into the exam room to see a shit ton of ki thrown at me, which I used my own to slightly overwhelm them, except for a redhead. Gaara, I yell happily in my mind. Careful now Michael, he's not like you know, Shukaku is still messing with him. Kurama said lazily. I nodded. I walked over to him and whispered to him. Tell Shukaku, Kurama said hi. From the look on Gaara's face, Shukaku was pissed. Mother wants your blood. Gaara said, I'm aware, and I'm aware he can hear me. I smirked under my mask. You're like me, Gaara stated. So is my brother. I said, I look forward to our fight. I bowed. Gaara did the same. Tamari walked over to her brother. Who is that? She asked. He is like me, Gaara stated, still looking over at Michito. The Suna Genin's eyes widened. Are you sure? Kankuro asked. Don't doubt me, or I'll kill you. Gaara glared. I sighed and shook my head. I walked over to the rookies and made myself known. Hey guys, I said, not trying to make myself the center of attention to all the genin. You are? Kiba asked. I moved my mask, making some girls blush, especially Ino. Michito? She yelled. I nodded. Miss me, Ino-chan tilde. I said teasingly, making her blush and fold her arms. Yeah right, I miss Sasuke-kun more than you. I just shook my head. Mo, you could at least act like a friend. I sighed. Huh? Why would I want to be friends with you? The blonde asked. Because we're shinobi, if we are not on friendly or good terms, we could get in each other's way. I said seriously. Look around. I pointed at the genin. Most of these genin are more skilled and more experienced. If we don't team up, we could fail. I said. A few moments later, they all turned to see Team 7 enter. Took them long enough. I rolled my eyes. After the rookie 9 all talked loudly among one another, a man with round glasses spoke up. You know, you really should be quiet. He said, making everyone turn to him. Who are you? Sakura asked. I'm Kabuto. Kabuto stated. You're a Konoha shinobi. Kiba stated. Have you taken the Chunin exams before? Naruto asked. Yep, 7 times actually. Kabuto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Not a bad act. Wow, you suck, Kiba stated. Or the exam is just hard. Kabuto rebutted. Anyway, doing so allowed me to have info on the participants. Kabuto lifted a deck of cards. Those are just cards. Naruto deadpanned. Watch and learn. Kabuto put chakra into the card and showed his own profile. Whoa, they all said in awe. Kabuto caught glances of me and went wide-eyed. He looked over at a grass shinobi who nodded discreetly. Anyone have anyone in mind who they want to know? Kabuto asked. Sasuke spoke up. Rock Lee, Gaara of the Desert, and Michito Uzumaki. Uchiha said. Ah, you already know their names, that takes the fun out of it. Kabuto complied. All went the same as canon till my card. Michito Uzumaki. Kabuto looked up at me, who was glaring at him. 1S ranked mission, still ongoing, huh? Everyone gaped. I sighed. Ask questions later. I stated. Seems you are efficient in kenjutsu, taijutsu, and ninjutsu. Kabuto seemed impressed. Don't forget senjutsu. I said sarcastically. You mastered senjutsu? Everyone yelled. Fuck no. I yelled back. I'm not doing that shit till I am fluent with the force. I yelled, making everyone confused. Alright you ass clowns. Get the fuck in a seat and shut up. Ibuki yelled. The test went exactly like in canon. Naruto is smart, so he's left it completely blank. Sakura is a coward however. The windows broke as a figure flew in. After the Who's situation with Anko introducing herself, she had us go to the forest of death. As I was walking out, I slipped a small sheet of paper to Ibuki. Ibuki opened the piece of paper after the genin left and widened his eyes. This isn't good, Ibuki muttered. What? Anko asked, walking over to her boss. Ibuki tossed the paper to her as he left. Her face went into a scowl. Hello, 11-kun. Orochimaru hissed, smiling. Orochimaru. I growled. Ah, why so hateful, 11-kun? Orochimaru pouted. I'm not, just pissed you ambushed me, and killed my freaking mood. I yelled comically. You took me from my mother, your own teammate. I yelled, making Orochimaru wince. My, I truly apologize for that. The snake Sanin said. What's your goal, Orochimaru? I demanded. Orochimaru smirked. I want the Sharingan. I smiled, confusing Orochimaru. That's your business, not mine. I shrugged, putting away my kunai. I looked up at him. Tell me where my mother is. Orochimaru raised an eyebrow. The pale woman chuckled lightly and jumped off the tree, where she was initially. I jumped off my tree and walked over to her. I sense you no longer want to attack me? I said, feeling his intentions. You don't wish to get in my way? He asked. I nodded. I'm not an idiot, spending years in your lab opened my mind at what you can do. I nodded. Orochimaru pulled out a scroll and handed it to me. This is the current location of your dear mother. According to my spies. I grabbed it and smiled. You know, for everything you've done, you treated me fairly. I said. Why? I asked. Why do you want to know? Orochimaru grunted. Because, even though you kidnapped me, you wouldn't run experiments on me. I said. You had the 9 tails, what point was there? It would just stop them. Orochimaru shrugged. Now, I must go to the Uchiha, he is ripe for the picking. Orochimaru licked her lips. Hey, Orochimaru, I said, making the woman turn to me. I smiled brightly. Thank you. Orochimaru just nodded and took off to meet her goal. I smiled, and sat down on the ground and meditated to sense everything. Rei, how are things with the Hokage? I asked through the force. He's nice, we talked about your mission. Shinobi are so strategically useful, the resistance could use some of them. Rei replied. I chuckled. Sighing, I used my senses to find my Hiraishin marks. There were a few teams near some of the marks and another team was near the tower, most likely Gaara's team. In a flash of yellow, I teleported to the tower, seeing as I already got my other scroll. How so? I tagged a group I knew had the opposite scroll as me with a Hiraishin, and knocked them all out in an instant. I won't lie, if I hadn't had practiced the Hiraishin so freaking much, I would have passed out with how many times I've used that jutsu. Now I can use it 10 times at once before I have to rely on Kurama's chakra. And Mokuton, wood style, is my ace in the hole. I figured out that bloodline when I asked Kami about all my bloodlines. Let's just say, I have earth, water, fire, and wind. I am not trying to be too overpowered too early. I want a challenge. My old life was eventful and always gave me a challenge, like my Taekwondo championships. I never got first place, which I didn't mind. I loved the attention it brought me. Everyone was so supportive, especially Mom. She would always take me out to get some food to cheer me up. We were always trying to make ends meet, but she did her best to make me happy. I bought her a new car with the help of my teacher, Mr. Abel. He was my sensei. We gave it to her as a birthday gift. She broke down in tears and hugged me tighter than ever before. This was the best memory I have of my mom, till a week later she died. I sighed, bringing myself back to the now. I opened the door leading into the entrance hall. As I walked in, I took both heaven and earth scrolls out and threw them on the ground. A large amount of smoke was seen throughout the room. The smoke disappeared and revealed Jiraiya. Damn Gaki, that was too quick, Jiraiya stated, his eye twitching, a pair of binoculars in his hand. Did you go peeking? I asked dangerously, knuckles cracking. T Tsunadeheim? Jiraiya stuttered. Close. I growled, punching him to the wall. How dare you go peeping without me? I roared. Jiraiya's corpse was twitching. 20 minutes later Jiraiya let me go after grabbing my collar. Go to your damn room and recuperate, Jiraiya said, tossing me across the room, ending with my ass in the air. Ow, I mumbled. I got up a moment later and went into the mess hall, showing Gaara's team. Hey, I smiled. Huh? You're here? That's surprising. Kankuro laughed. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I turned to the makeup-wearing boy. Nice war paint. I smirked. I just shook my head. Nah, no offense, but the only reason I'm in these exams or even a shinobi at all is because of my brother, I stated, making everyone raise an eyebrow. Oh, and by the way, I whispered in Temari's ear. Keep an eye out on your case cage for the next month. I sense a change in him will happen. I whispered. Oh, and your invasion will be fun. I blew in her ear after turning my mask. Oh yeah, I put my mask back on when I entered the tower. Temari's eyes bulged out her head. I went back to where I stood before and smirked. A mutual friend of ours told me, let's just say, that tongue brings back memories. The two sand genin went into a defensive stance. I raised my hand. No need, I already swore I wouldn't say anything. You can trust me, I stated. Temari and Kankuro relaxed. Gaara just stood there leaking bloodlust. I suggest you keep Shukaku on a leash before I tell Hagoromo Gigi you're being a brat. I whispered to Gaara, who widened his eyes. Mother wants to know how you know that name. Gaara glared, a little sand surrounded him. He told me himself when I was 10. I will tell you more later. I disappeared in a flash of yellow, landing in the Hokage Tower. Needless to say, Hiruzen shit himself. Anbu surrounded me in an instant. Relax, it's just me, I said, calming, pushing a tanto away from my face. Stand down, Hiruzen said, making the Anbu go back to their positions. Good to see your Anbu aren't rusty. I chuckled. Michito-kun, did you just? I nodded. That's impossible, Hiruzen said. I got a hold of his notes when I first got here, old man. I practiced Fuinjutsu for years before I did the Hiraishin, which I mastered on my mission. I explained. I will tell Naruto about our father when I see him next time, old man, whether you like it or not. I growled. Hiruzen narrowed his eyes. That's treason, Michito-kun. I glared. So was allowing Naruto Nisan to get abused before I came, but you didn't stop it. The old man flinched. He deserves to know, he's ready. I whispered. Far more ready than I ever was. Hiruzen sighed. Michito, Orochimaru is planning an invasion. I interrupted. What? Hiruzen stood up. He's planning an invasion, Hiruzen, I stated in a deep voice. He's planning it during the finals, and we both know there will be too many contestants to have it right now. I stated. I just thought I should warn you. He also implanted the curse mark into Sasuke. Hiruzen went wide-eyed. Sasuke is already a flight risk, Hiruzen, I said seriously. Michito, you call me Hokage-sama, Hiruzen stated. Respect is earned, not given. I glared. Hiruzen sighed. Very well, I must report this to my shinobi. I nodded. You're dismissed. I disappeared in a flash of dust. A few days later, Sasuke Uchiha and Yoroi Kato. Genma coughed. I sighed and fell asleep on the bar that held the audience from entering the ground floor, not caring about fights I've seen hundreds of times. I don't know how long I was out, but I woke up to Kakashi nudging me awake. Michito, it's your turn, he said. I groggily looked up. Michito Uzumaki vs Ino Yamanaka, was written on the board. That's new. I raised an eyebrow. Good luck Michito. Beat Ino pig. Sakura yelled. Shut it, billboard brow. Ino yelled back. This isn't good, Michito-kun looks super strong. Ino thought. Michito sighed for what seemed like the 100th time and jumped to the proctor. Hey Genma, how's the sickness? Michito asked. Hey, better. Genma nodded. Ino walked to her spot. Michito Uzumaki vs Ino Yamanaka. Whenever you're ready, Genma announces. The two nodded, and they both pulled out a kunai. Begin. Genma jumped back, giving the genin room to move. Good luck, Ino-chan tilde, I taunted, making Ino pissed. Damn you, she yelled, charging in. I stood still, dodging all her attacks like I did with Sasuke all those years ago. She swiped her kunai trying to cut me. I ducked under it however and launched my fist into her stomach and threw her 20 yards. Damn, I grunted. You're soft, I said, making her look at me with a pained yet confused look. She gripped her stomach for a moment before going into hand signs. If I am able to knock you out with one punch, then I'll just save my strength. I taunted some more. May as well play with her a bit. I chuckled. Ino used her family jutsu, making her collapse. My hands started to raise. What do you think you're doing, Ino-chan? I asked through my subconscious. Suddenly memories began to fill Ino's head, places she's never seen before, weapons she's never heard of, and stories about her and her friends. All of this overloaded her jutsu, sending her back to her own body. Og, she screamed. Don't go poking around my head. I said, frowning. Mike. She mumbled. My eyes went wide. No fucking way. She say my past life's memories as well? Where'd you hear that name? I grabbed her chin, lifting her head up to look into my bluish-brown eyes. That's your real name, isn't it? She whispered. I don't know. I whispered, using the force to mess with her mind. Proctor, she's done, I said, picking her up bridal style. Just when I did so, she fell unconscious. Medics took her from my arms and checked up on her. Genma proclaimed me the winner. After the matches, I found out who I was facing in the finals, apparently, some sound shinobi that went by the name of Kabeki. Michito-kun. Karen walked over to me. Flashback. Fuck, I heard someone scream. Who's that? I muttered to myself. I jumped to the location where the scream came from and found Karen. Help, she cried. A giant bear came, chasing her everywhere. Please, she continued. I sighed, grabbing my lightsaber. I jumped in the way of the beast. Hold on, I yelled, grabbing her attention. The bear came charging towards me. Quishu, my lightsaber ignited, shocking Karen. I used Soresu, Obi-Wan's lightsaber form, and charged at the beast. Karen cried. Wait, she begged. I didn't bother listening. I used the force to freeze it as I came slicing its ankles, making the bear howl in agony. Afterwards, I jumped from tree to tree to make sure I got to the highest point before falling and slicing its head off its shoulders. I was covered in blood, for a moment till I land in the lake via Hiraishin, then back in a matter of seconds. What a workout. I stretched, seeing Karen back up from me. Easy there, Uzumaki-san. I gestured. I am not an Uzumaki. She stuttered. Oh? I figured you are, you look somewhat like my godmother. I rubbed the back of my head. I could feel her unease so I took my mask off. I'm Michito Senju Namikaze, nice to meet you. I raised my hand. Don't worry, I mean you no harm. I smiled. Karen, she muttered. Pretty name. I chuckled. I love your hair as well, it looks soft. I chuckled, making her go crimson. Thank you, she whispered. Say, where's your team? I looked around. I turned back to her. They're dead. She looked down on the ground. I'm sorry, Karen. I hugged her. I then noticed her arms. Hey, let me see your arms. She backed up instantly, afraid. Hey, it's okay. I raised both hands. I wasn't going to hurt you. I assured her. She reluctantly came back and showed her bare arms to me, revealing teeth marks. I'm going to kill whoever did this to you. I growled. Hold still. I closed my eyes and reached out through the force of natural energy. Right before her eyes, her body started to heal. How? She almost yelled when I finished. I panted. The force was with you, hey. I chuckled, wiping sweat off my eyebrow. Hey, I'll send you to the tower to make sure you're safe. After this round, we should hang out. I suggested. She nodded happily. She jumped on me and hugged me tightly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He said, "Don't worry about it." I rubbed her back. Flashback end. Michito-kun. Karen yelled happily, waving over to me. "Karen?" I asked. Faster than my Hiraishin could ever go, Karen jumped on me. "Michito-kun, good job." She rubbed her glasses on my chest. I smiled. I can sometimes see her tense around me. The first time we met, her sensory ability was amazing. "Hey, Michito," Naruto called out. Karen and I turned. "You're Naruto Uzumaki, huh?" She crossed her arms. "Yeah? Who are you?" Naruto asked. "Karen." She pushed up her glasses. She turned to me. "I had to go see my sensei, bye." She eyed Naruto carefully. "I know what you feel, Karen." I whispered to her. "Don't worry, he's nice. Don't be afraid." I rubbed her back. "Even so, I still need to see my sensei." She nodded. I sighed. "Alright, see you, Karen." I waved her off. Naruto walked next to me. "Weird girl," he told me. I simply nodded. "Come on, let's get out of here, we haven't seen each other in months." I grabbed his shoulder and in a flash of yellow, we were gone. The next day, "God damn it," I yelled, throwing a kunai next to a deadpan Kakashi. "Why Ebisu?" Naruto cringed. "This damn pervert is just a perv." I continued. "Screw this, let's go, Naruto. Clearly your sensei is too busy to care about us." Kakashi winced and looked down in shame. "But, Michito, Kakashi-sensei isn't your sensei." Naruto noted. I laughed. "Let's go find Ero Sennin, that way, I can finally go on my training trip with Rei," I said, pulling Naruto by the collar. A few minutes later, we were at the hot springs. I jumped next to Jiraiya and pulled out binoculars. "Good views," I whispered to him. The toad sage nodded. "Jiraiya-sensei, Naruto needs a sensei for the Chunin exams, can you please help him?" I asked. Naruto, "Huh? You're taking Rei up on that offer?" He looked at me, smirking. I just nodded. "Fine, I'll do it." He jumped off the tree and smiled at Naruto. I just closed my eyes, relaying information to Rei. I followed Jiraiya and found us in the familiar training ground. "You guys go ahead and get to work, I'm going home to pack again," I said. "But you just got back." Naruto whined. "Naruto." I gave him a look that said, "Don't question me," and he gulped but nodded. "I'll be back in a few weeks." Again, I disappeared in a flash of yellow. "Gaki loves that damn jutsu." Jiraiya grumbled. Naruto just chuckled. "Okay, Naruto, let me take a look at your seal," Jiraiya said, making said blonde pull up his jacket. 1 month later, Rei and Michito were walking back to the village after going to AHCH2, place Luke hid in the new movies, to train with Luke Skywalker, Jedi Grand Master. He found meditation to feel freeing and quite enjoyed it. Luke instantly knew who Michito really was, and confronted him when Rei wasn't near him. Flashback. "Michito," Luke said, making me turn to him. "Who are you really? I sense a higher power within you, like the work of the Force itself." I chuckled. "I figured the Force wouldn't shield me from you, Master," I said, making Luke sit next to me as I cooked some instant ramen. "Guess I should tell you everything." I put down the cup. "I am a reincarnated soul," I said, making Luke look at me. "In my old life, my name was Michael Allen. I was just a regular teenager, but something bad happened." I rubbed my forehead. I looked at him and said, "I committed suicide and met a goddess," I said, not wanting to give Cammy away. "She gave me an opportunity at another life of my choosing, and I accepted." I looked up at the stars. I finally had a brand new start. I smiled. "So that's who I am," I said, looking back at the Force ghost. "A tale indeed, hope. Stick to hope, Michael." I nodded. "Who's Michael?" Rei asked, waking back from gathering water. "I think your hearing is going bad, Rei." Luke joked. "Hey, Luke?" I asked. "Can I enter dreams through the Force?" I asked. Luke nodded. "I want to enter my mother's dreamscape, and tell her I'm alive," I said, making Rei go wide-eyed. "You can't be serious?" She chided. "I am." I looked up. "It takes a great deal of focus, but I think you can reach her from here," Luke said, making me nod. I went to my meditation mat and took the correct position. "I'm ready," I muttered. The next 15 minutes were quiet, my calm face showing focus. "I feel her," I said, getting pulled into my mom's dreamscape. Tsunade's dreamscape. Tsunade was coming home from the hospital. They had finally finished all the patients and needed time to rest. "Ka-chan," a boy yelled. "I'm in here, Ka-chan." The boy called as Tsunade threw her shoes off and ran after the boy to make sure he was okay. She found him in the kitchen drawing a picture. Michito-kun, she smiled. Ka-chan. Mini-me jumped off the seat and hugged his mom. Happy birthday, Mi-chan. Tsunade erupted Mini-me with tons of kisses. Ka-chan. Ha ha ha, that tickles. He had a teardrop forming as he continued to laugh. Tsunade had a cat-like smile. Ah, someone seems ticklish. Guess you're not a big boy just yet, she purred. No, I'm a big boy, Mini-me muttered. Oh? She pounced on the little boy, making both of them laugh. Suddenly, a wave of energy entered her dream. The little boy in her dream transformed into a teenage version of her son. Michito? She screamed, seeing her boy being enveloped in light. Ka-chan? A deeper voice came out. Mi-chan? Are you? She froze when an older version of Michito stood there, wearing a black cloak, with the Senju crest on the back. Who are you? Where is my son? Tsunade growled, then took a closer look. Suddenly, reality hit her. She's dreaming. It was a dream? She fell to her knees and I hugged her. It's okay, I said. Don't wake up yet, Ka-chan. I pleaded. Mi-kun? She croaked. An older Mi-kun, Ka-chan. I joked. I'm sorry Mi-kun, it's all my fault. You're dead because of me, everyone I love is dead. I made her look at me. You're dead wrong, Ka-chan. I said, seriously, I'm alive, Ka-chan, in the real world. Tsunade's teary eyes widened. Where? Tell me Mi-chan. I need to find you. She yelled. Go to Tansaku in a month, I'll be there. I said before hugging her tightly. I love you, Ka-chan. I said, making Tsunade lose it and cry harder than ever into my shoulder. After that, she woke up. Real world. I was dropped from mid-air, not used to doing this. Holy. I breathed quickly. Get some sleep, we have training to do tomorrow come daybreak. Ray said, making me nod. Flashback end. Let's go straight to the Hokage. I groaned and grabbed her shoulder. Hiraishin no jutsu, I muttered, and we both disappeared. We appeared in an instant outside the mansion office window. Knock knock. I knocked on the window. Hiruzen jumped and opened the window for us. You've returned, Hiruzen said. I nodded. Good, the Chunin exam finals are tomorrow, so get some rest. I nodded, not wanting to speak right now. I was thinking, but a moment later I finally spoke up. I want to reveal myself. I said. Absolutely not, Hiruzen said instantly. This could draw my mom back to the village. If she hears a Senju Namikaze is alive, she'd have to check it out. I said. Hiruzen sighed deeply. If you do this, this will change everything. Hiruzen said. You have no idea. I mumbled. Fine, I'll allow it. You're becoming a Chunin anyway, and Jiraiya says you can take care of yourself. Hiruzen smiled. See you tomorrow. I waved and left. I am excited to see what happens next. That night, I thought I would be nervous and not get any sleep. I was asleep the moment my head hit my pillow. Next day, I woke up to the sound of my alarm. I pressed it, turning it off. I did my morning routine and sat down and meditated. I stayed like that for the next 30 minutes undisturbed till Kurama reminded me to get ready. Naruto woke up late, as usual, and made some ramen. I smiled and made myself known. Guess who's back? I whispered. Michito. Naruto turned to me and jumped on me instantly. Hey Naruto, how has training been? I asked. Good, I learned the Rasengan, and the toad summoning. I smiled. Neji won't know what hit him. I fist bumped him. I had to go, don't be late, my match is first. I said, waved goodbye as I went to my room. I went to my bed and pulled out a chest from under it. Hey, when people get a load of me, no one will forget who I am. I pulled out an outfit that would make anyone look in awe. Michito Uzumaki is dead, I am now. Supernova. Chunin Stadium, what a drag. Shikamaru groaned. We're missing some people here. Shikamaru thought. What's going on? Ino spoke up. This thing is about to get started. Where is Sasuke-kun, Naruto, and Michito-kun? Ino asked. Sakura thought the same. A few moments later, all the guests looked to the entrance, to find Naruto skidding to a stop in front of the proctor. Naruto. Sakura smiled. Yeah, but he's totally late. Ino cringed. Knock it off. The proctor spoke up as Shikamaru and Naruto bickered. Quit your fidgeting, you two. He said, looking back at them. Present yourselves proudly to the spectators. Naruto instantly noticed a whole arena full of spectators and guests. His face went serious in an instant. Time for the fun to begin.
That's all for now. If you enjoy this video, then please like, share and do comments.